Michael Chandler, and here he is with us, dude. Very nice to have you in studio. And this is our new sitting area. Congratulations, man. I have a lot of respect for you. This is a lot of work.
It was a lot of work. I think you saw a bit of it on the weekend.
Yeah, I was here. I was also, you know, getting down and painting with Mr. Michael.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you very much. So talk to me about this room, man. This looks absolutely amazing. What was the idea? What do we have here?
So basically it was the idea of having some fun with some cardboard, using really a cheap material to create a nice effect.
Yeah.
So the cardboard we used in different layers, do this boise, this French paneling.
Yeah.
And then using the different colors, we get depth. And I think it's quite fun, actually.
It is definitely quite fun. So this is what you would call a rococo effect.
Well, it's kind of inspired by French paneling from that time of the rococo. So a lot of my work does deal with the Cape history and the heritage. So I thought I'd explore that, the French history. Yeah.
Well, definitely. Well, we're in our French room right now, but let's take a walk to our wall over there. Just careful of Bob and Bella behind you. And take us through exactly what do we have? What do we have? We have layers, as you talk about, to create depth.
We started with the darker color, and then we worked towards the lighter, and then we just finished off with a little bit of the white, just to give it a bit of kick.
To bring it out.
Absolutely. And then we just did your traditional little motifs, your spandrels in the corner, and your patera.
Sure. It absolutely looks beautiful, and it gives such a unique vibe into this room. How would you describe the feeling that this would give off into a room?
It gives kind of an element of grandeur. At the same time, it's quite playful because it's imperfect. I mean, if this was done in the High Court of Louis XVI, where it would have come from, it would have been, you know, meticulously done by the most talented craftsmen.
Exactly.
But I think we had a little bit of fun with the craft knife and the scissors and the paint. So.
It was good fun, but also what I like about it is the fact that we've created this with cardboard, which is
exactly. You can throw it away when you're done. You can repaint it. And if you make any mistakes, you can just add on with a staple or cut it off.
Exactly. We used it because we have drywalling here, so we use staples, of course. But of course, I don't want to give away too much. Let's take a look at what myself and Michael actually did to create this look.
With decor, as in life, preparation is key. From a sketch to our studio walls, Michael Chandler brought his vision to life.
Michael, I am absolutely itching to get going with our studio, but based on what I see in front of me, it seems we have a lot of work ahead of us.
It all began in this notebook over here. That is how the final room's going to look. There are lots of decorative elements that are involved in the paneling. So what I've done is I've done some miniature versions to give us an accurate idea of how they're going to look like in the end. We'll make these bigger for the final presentation. So as you can see, I've done some sketching out on the walls of where the panels are going to go. I decided to keep the central one as the dominant one with the most decorations. So you have your spandrels, your cresting, and as we go away from that, they go into these more subdued panels. We don't want them hogging all the attention. And then we've also marked off where the dodo rail is going to be, skirting boards, all that kind of nonsense. So what we need to do now is to start cutting the panels out of the cardboard. Let's roll.
Do this thing.
Using a mock-up of the perfect panel, we outlined it with chalk on the cardboard to ensure all of them are the same size. As you can see, quite a bit of planning was done beforehand, so we simply fitted the panels to pencil outlines on the walls using staples. At home, if you don't have drywalls like we do, try a glue gun. We then added the detail layer by layer and panel by panel. It's as easy as that to reuse, recycle and recoco.
Michael, I think we did a really good job. All the cardboard little details are up.
It's looking really good. Now what we have to do is paint them. I thought we'd do is we'd start off with the darkest color at the back, which is Venetian Crystal 1, and then bring our way up to lighter colors, which is the Sapphire Spring 1 as well, from the Dulux range. And that'll give us a really nice depth with the color, which will finish off with a lovely white trim.
This is going to be a special area, I can tell you that much.
Looking forward to it.
Right, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do this thing.
Again, the colors being used here are Dulux Luxurious Silk in Sapphire Springs and Venetian Crystal. Michael used a medium-sized paintbrush. This technique can be a little time-consuming, but the end result is worth it.
Well, as you can see, myself and Michael, we still have a lot of work ahead of us. So let me get through it, but I can't wait for the final reveal because this room is going to be absolutely beautiful. You've got to stay tuned. There we go, and that is how we did it. Michael, it was great, and I don't think this room can feel any more French. We have the French-inspired theme. We have even French bulldogs sitting on the carpets.
And I'm 25% French, actually, in my ancestry.
And you are 25% French. Great stuff. Now, we put some furniture in here as well from Halogen International. So how did you go about choosing the furniture to actually suit this room, to make it just look that little bit extra unique?
Well, I didn't want the furniture to really conflict with the background. It's quite busy, but I really love the way the chairs echoed the panels. So it was just to keep clean lines, but at the same time, there was a conversation happening with the panels.
And I also know that a lot of thought went into the actual painting of our cardboard panels. Why are these specific colors and these darker, the blues?
It's one of my favorite colors of all time. The blue and white has been a theme in the Cape's history, really since the first European settlers started arriving here. And it's never gone out of fashion in hundreds of years. So you have your Delft blue and white, your Chinese blue and white, your Japanese blue and white. I absolutely love the blue and white, and it's a strong theme in my work.
That I can see because you do it so well. And I also love the finer details that we put because you've done a lot of cutting.
There was a lot more than I anticipated, but I really believe that in the detail, one philosopher, God is in the detail. So you really have to pay attention to those bits.
And spend that little bit extra time. For instance, above our screen there, we have just these simple, cutouts of is like a leaf type of thing.
Yeah, if we had a bit more time, I might have done a bit more to that. But
But we'll keep working. We'll keep working. I mean,
exactly.
I know you will.
I'll come back next weekend.
You'll come back next weekend. You know what? I'm there. We'll help. We'll put it together nicely. But it looks fantastic. Thank you so much to you just for pulling through and just making the studio special. Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Awesome. And of course, you know what? We've done a lot of painting. But of course, you want to make sure that you keep the leftover paint properly if you do have leftovers. So Benham has a lovely little tip for us. Check it out.
Did you know? If you store paint in the correct way, it can last up to 2 years. Here's how to do it.
Benham, I think one of the most frustrating things when it comes to adding a splash of color to your house or even a room in your house is what to do with the leftover paint. So how can we store it if you don't have that much space?
It really is quite easy. You can take an old glass bottle that you have in the house and just decant whatever leftover paint you have into that glass bottle, and it takes up much less space.
And that makes sure it's airtight and everything.
And it's got a nice lid so it seals tightly, and what you can also do is then just take a piece of masking tape and make sure that you write down the color, and normally if it's a tinted color, make sure you write down the code that's on that and just keep it stick it onto the glass.
The jars will keep it from drying out. During renovations or just an annual spring cleaning, you can save money because stored right, the paint will be as fresh as the day it came out of the can.